What is education? Education is an effort to shape, improve, develop human thoughts and behaviors in order to increase adaptation and productivity in accordance with predetermined goals related to the present and future. The knowledge, skills and attitudes gained through education increase a person's awareness of being and belonging to a person, improve their personality and make them more valuable. The importance of education. A person who is an information worker must have various knowledge, skills and abilities in order to succeed in the conditions of intense competition that are increasing today. Because of all this, investment in education continues to increase continuously. Without training and development, it is not possible to update employees' qualifications, skills and experience necessary for the job and to increase their performance in a way that affects their organizational results. Training and development is an element that maintains productivity and supports employees to prepare for their future jobs. Investment in education is investment in the individual, organization and society due to social responsibility. The increase in investment in education is an indication that the importance given to the human or labor factor is increasing and that this factor is becoming more aware of its impact on productivity every day. The view that education is an unnecessary investment is now obsolete. Businesses have to adapt to the rapidly changing external environment. To achieve change, the reason that requires staff training and development, the rapid growth in the external environment, change, and competition, depending on work in companies, change of technology and the task of working with continuous renewal yet arises problems such as alienation or compliance issues. It is possible to increase their performance at work by learning new information and developing themselves. It is very difficult or even impossible for business organizations that do not care about education to increase the success and efficiency of their employees and therefore to protect their assets under intense competitive conditions. It is all of the processes in which a person develops abilities, attitudes and other forms of behavior that have value in the society in which they live. Education is a process of planned effects that serves to provide certain improvements in people's behavior according to predetermined principles. Education is the process of deliberately and willingly creating changes in a person's behavior through their life. As can be seen, many definitions of education can be made. However, nowadays it is mostly preferred definition. It is the process of creating a change in an individual's behavior through their own life and deliberately in the desired direction in accordance with the goals of education.